OSD, we're back. It's a new year, 2015. This is episode 332 on The Good Food. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you're walking and talking and more importantly staying nice and warm, because if you're anywhere in the northeast region right now, it is frigid cold and then some. But nonetheless, we can't forget our folks out in the O to the N to the E. It is frigid out there as well. The one and only ridiculous creatives in the building. All the Sole Doctors, we're locked in. We were locked in. Man, what's the good word? You on the good foot?
Man, another new year. Another new year.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, listen. Hopefully you had a good holiday season. But before we jump right into the show, I have to say, but importantly, you know, as we are able to do this show, I would be remiss if we didn't say, you know, rest in peace to the one and only, the late great Stuart Scott, who passed and succumbed to cancer just recently. And a number of people are paying their tributes to him and certainly saying, you know, thank you, you know, cooler than the other side of the pillow, booyah, all that good stuff. He actually changed the game, and certainly I had an opportunity back in 2005 to actually meet him face to face in person for the first time and tell him how much of an impact he had, not only on sports but certainly on me and a number of people all around the world. So we certainly say rest in peace to the one and only, and certainly his family and his two daughters.
Absolutely.
Man, we certainly, you know, this show does exist, believe it or not, in some shape or form because of Stuart Scott. So we certainly appreciate you and your contributions to the field. So UNC for sure, Tar Heel, baby, Tar Heel.
Not only that, props to him for, I think the voice that he had, the position that he played for many of us younger folks. We were a good 20 years away from the actual civil rights movement. And so the context of Southern Baptist preachers and, you know, New York preachers with perms, like that was a far stretch for a lot of us. Stuart Scott was doing it in a way we could believe in, that was authentic, sounded like us, in a realm that was mixed gender, mixed race. It was almost like a microcosm of the real world. Like, I get that there are ills in the world, I get that there are things that need to be equalized and done better, but in light of that, you still got to live day to day, and he was making progress and making moves for us and showing us how to stay authentically yourself, how to speak the way you wanted to speak, how to dress the way you wanted to dress, and still gain respect in another venue.
Absolutely.
Here's something people don't know.
Oh, and by the way, he's 2-1 against cancer. Even in death, he had a winning record.
Hey, sure.
Here's something people don't know about.
What's up, paper?
OSD. I said, here's something people don't know about Stuart Scott. August 2007, we did the first show of OSD.
Yep.
November of 2007, Stuart Scott started his bout with cancer. That's how long he fought.
Wow.
Man.
That's how long he fought.
Like I said, he beat it twice. It got him on the last round, 2-1.
And a lot of
above
people,
500.
A lot of people simply didn't know, if you didn't work with him, what he was going through. When you saw him on the air, you had no clue of what was going on in his world.
Yep.
And he wanted it that way.
Yep.
So, you know, and there was a lot of opposition to him when he first was on ESPN, even internally, and from people that worked with him. They didn't think that what he was going to represent was professional enough within ESPN. And it kind of reminds me of when we first started this show, and people said, "You're going to do a talk show about sneakers? There isn't that much to talk about. Sneakers come out, people buy them." This is what people said to me. Sneakers come out, people buy them. There's nothing to talk about with sneakers. People just want to look at them. Here we are.
True.
So Again, rest in peace, power, and remembrance to Stuart Scott, a trailblazer, a really true, passionate dad, a good friend, confidant, and what have you to so many others in the sports world and his family. UNC Tar Heel alum.
As pertinent a role model, even in the civil rights movement, I'll go out and say that.
Your word is heard.
True. So we got a good show in store for you, episode 332 on the Good Foot. Man, the new show of the year. Man, oh man. Let's go straight to the P to the D to the X. He is the one and only Mr. Jesse. What's the good word, sir?
Yes. How's everybody doing out there? East Coast family.
Yes.
So you got a fire and a jacket and the heat is on and you're keeping yourself warm. Get some tea, get some hot chocolate, get the big comforter out. You know what it is. East Coast, we live through it. Don't go anywhere tomorrow if you don't have to. If you go outside, your face will freeze off, your nose will fall, and your snot and everything will be like ice. Y'all ain't ready for that, you know what I mean?
For
Y'all ain't
real.
ready for that. So we'll just leave that alone and try to get better. But what's up, Disorderlies? Excited to get back into the sneaker world right now. It's 2015. We're going to bring you something fresh and exciting every week. And just looking forward to all kinds of good things. And from me personally, the word of the year for me is collaboration. So keep a lookout for that logo. You'll see it around through the crew here and other places trying to put in that work. So
nice. Nice. And let's go straight to the one and only Mr. Brooklyn Show. What's the good word?
Happy New Year's, everyone. Hope everybody is doing well. Beginning of the year. Trying to stay warm out here. But
Happy New Year. Happy New
Year's. I actually like the cold weather. I wish it was snow. We had 2 light snow days. I wanted more snow, but can't get everything you wish for. We still got February. Rest of February. It's boots weather. Nike boots, Timberland boots. That's the footwear for now. It's too cold for anything lower. Got to keep my ankles warm. I hope everybody brought the new year in good. Drink, kiss a lady, food, something. Family.
For sure.
All of the above. Checklist.
Yeah. I had steak, liquor, kissed the lady, so my new year was fine.
You're good. You're on a roll. You're on a roll. Well, Paper, let's talk. Let's get right to it. Let's talk some stocks, some footwear. I see a lot of green on the screen. What's up with that?
There is indeed a lot of green on the screen for the OSD stock report, the first one of the year. I guess we're starting off on a good note. We have Nike finishing today at what is close to a serious high since the split, I believe. Excuse me. Nike finishes today at $94.87 per share, up $1.92 per share. Skechers finishes at $59.15 per share, up $3.25 per share. VF Corporation, Vanity Fair Corporation, parent company for Vans, North Face, Timberland, etc., finished at $73.64 per share, up 93 cents per. Under Armour, dropping the dope Stephen Curry shoe tomorrow on his feet, and in retailers shortly after, they finish at $66.56, up $2.34 per share on the day. Deckers Outdoor Corporation, back like they never left. Uggs are still serious out there, y'all. Deckers Outdoor finished at $90.35 per share, up $2.84 per share on the day. Foot Locker Incorporated finishes at $56.92 per share, up $2.48 per. Adidas AG on the OTC market finishes at $33 up 47 cents per share. Puma AG on the ETR market finishes at 167 euros, up 35 cents. eBay finishes at $54.92 per share, down 10 cents per. And Finish Line Incorporated finishes at $24.51 per share, up 94 cents per. So if you're keeping score for our first OSD stock report of the year, only one stock, that being eBay, was slightly down on the day. So once again, we publish these results every day, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or later, on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Google+. If you want to get in touch with us to figure out how to get on the other side of the game, you need to hit us with an email at info@osdlive.com. We'll show you how to get on it. So you got to be in on the other side to really win, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just about copping sneakers and seeing how much you can get on the resale. So what do you guys think about those results there today?
Man, Under Armour is showing.
Down is a non. Oh, go ahead, D.
No, after you.
I was gonna say the only one down is a non-dedicated sneaker outlet. They do other things, so the sneaker world is up.
Yeah, Skechers is up the most.
Yeah, Skechers has been on fire though. I mean, they had a strong end of 2014, and then they just keep going up. I think they're actually en route right now. If I'm not mistaken, I have to go back and look. They're probably going to split at some point.
Their technical plans are. Yeah.
You know, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Their technical might not be the best, but it is on the uprise in a way that Under Armour was maybe 2 years ago.
Right. So, I mean, all these companies have a lot of cash they're throwing around, and especially now we know with the dead of winter, with the NBA season picking up, we have NBA All-Star next month. We have the Super Bowl coming up, so there's certainly a lot of different battles happening on, for placement for the eyeballs.
We have tax time coming up.
Yep. So
is it
these trade shows,
or is there just? I just feel like there's a lot of energy right now. Like I just feel like there's. You look at these numbers and you know they're going up, so you know people are buying. But I just feel like anybody from 3 down, they just feel like they can get it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the other companies are just like, yo, I'm in this, I'm focusing in my lane, and I'm just trying to do what I do best. And I feel like there's parity. I feel like it's the NFL. I feel like there's like any given Sunday, any company can come out and you're like, damn, how'd they do that?
I think what we as a culture at large miss so much of, and we talk about this behind the scenes a lot, is the technical, the actual utility of footwear, because so much focus is put visually on style and what star is wearing what on what red carpet. That is still in the minority when you look at how many people are going to go buy a new pair of Asics in about 2 months because spring is going to break. Like winter is actually a short season, and in the retail world, you're already ramping up, getting ready for that technical spring and summer when people are going to get out, shed the pounds. Fitness is going to be on a high, and people are stocking up now. They're releasing new shoes. So the technical side of footwear and sneaker culture is kind of like that undertow. We see the waves on top. They're pretty to surf, the curl, the rip curl, the shoreline and all that. But underneath there's caves and currents and all types of stuff. I think that is what's driving a lot of the sales and the stock report coming out of winter into spring.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. Like you said, I think Jesse and you, Ridiculous, have hit it on the head. Like, what this season's, what we're going to see in the next coming months, and more importantly, where footwear is going, particularly running sneakers. What new technologies are going to be rolling out. We're going to talk about, power laces that have been confirmed at some point for 2015. But in the meantime, we got to talk about some of these prices of sneakers that keep going up, sir. And Paper has on the screen this Air Jordan 1 fragment that I don't understand, and I really truly don't understand why the price of these sneakers continues to go, and the reseller price is so high.
The little lightning bolts in the corner.
Yeah.
Is that all it is? Is
so
it?
heavy.
Is it
It's so heavy.
so it's a Jordan 1. I get that, which is all of a sudden it seems like everyone is on the hunt for Jordan 1s.
I didn't say anything about Jordan.
No,
I didn't
no.
say anything about 1. I said it goes up because of the lightning bolts in the corner.
So you're telling me
I agree.
the lightning bolt transcends or supersedes the Air Jordan logo and the fact that it has the Nike swoosh on the sneaker?
Yes.
Wow.
Would you like me to repeat that?
Yes.
Well, wait, I don't think it supersedes. It goes together.
It goes
if you put
together.
that lightning bolt on another sneaker, it won't do as well. It's like the pigeon.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's a power up. It's like a Pac-Man pellet.
Yeah.
So who's feeding who? The lightning bolt's feeding Jordan, or Jordan feeding the lightning bolt?
The lightning bolt. Well, no, I think let's see. If you put that lightning
or
bolt
are they
on
best
somebody
together?
else.
Yeah, Jordan's Pac-Man, and the lightning bolt gave him a little boo-doo-doo-doo, and he's chasing after the ghost.
You know, Superman brother just got that mushroom and got bigger.
Exactly.
The way that it's working because Jordan Brand was like, nah, we don't have to do that, and all of a sudden, this guy gets to do one. There's a bunch of people that are doing them now, and they've opened that door, but it feeds the hype I think that we get frustrated with. But I mean, I believe that shoe is only moving because of the lightning bolts.
It is. No, the lightning bolt makes the reseller prices even more. Right. Because like you said, if you put that lightning bolt, the undefeated symbol, supreme symbol, we could go on with different symbols on there. And that would make it sell more.
It's a black toe Jordan. They released the red one last year. It's foolishness. It's hard for me to take people seriously when they got so hyped about it. I just kept my mouth shut because I'm like, it's actually on one of the message boards that I'm a part of. Someone put blue painter's tape all over the red and put it on screen and actually fooled a couple people.
Wow.
Glorious.
Vanglorious.
Vainglory.
Exactly. But it's the lightning bolt that boosted the prices. But they work together. Because if you put that lightning bolt, that collaboration with somebody else, it might not have,
I mean, this is resale. And that's fragments. That's Hiroshi, right?
The fragment, that's HTM, isn't it? Isn't it all three of them?
That's the third one, the Japanese gentleman, Hiroshi. Yeah. That's his thing, yeah. So anytime he comes out on his own, someone's going to be like, oh, cool. You know what I mean? Honestly,
break, all of that.
I think even if Mark Parker said, you know what, for a month, I'm going to design a shoe for each one of my categories, I guarantee that mug would sell out. If Mark Parker was like, I'm gonna use my logo, which is part of MTH or whatever it is, I'm gonna do each one of these. I'm gonna do a shoe.
Right.
It would sell out.
Of course, it'd be the fragment pack.
I don't think it would in some of the because we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen in lesser models. Like you said, you got the pigeon stuff. He stuck to a few particular things that were already quite popular, and that only helped. Like again, it was a power pellet. But if Parker was to say that about your run-of-the-mill ASICS runner, a tech runner, it wouldn't sell. Not like that. We've seen special editions, from Packer shoes. I got the limited edition Kayano pack at half price. It wouldn't sell. It depends. It's got to be a combination of the collaborator and the shoe.
Yep.
Right, but so what I'm saying is, I mean, you have a designer who's now the head of the company who only puts out a couple models on his own. So when we talk about exclusivity, the only people that's releasing any kind of exclusive product out of Nike is at HTM. I mean, you can't get your hands on it unless you're a part of that initial pairage. You're not getting it, or unless you're in one of those other countries, or you're paying the box price, which is usually higher than anything else.
Right. I mean, we've seen them going for like $1,000 or more.
Right. Exactly. So I'm saying if Mark said, okay, you know what, I'm going to take a month and I'm going to take a Pegasus, a Jordan 1, and I'm going to take maybe the Bo Jackson, and I'm going to put my design spin on it.
Oh, what's going to sell?
That's what I'm saying. Just because he's part of HTM.
But you've mentioned, But you've also mentioned, I agree with you, but you've also mentioned combinations of shoes that would sell on their own anyway. Now, if you mentioned, talk to me about a couple of lower end models that wouldn't sell, and then tell me that they would sell the same way even with that limited designer collaboration.
Well, let's go back. Let's not lose our focus. Let's not lose our focus. We're talking about the Jordan 1, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, Paper. What did you say?
I want to say just before we get into the debate over, let's read this report that Josh Luber from Campus, shout out to him, Happy New Year, homie. He sent over, and this is just data from the date of December 27th when the shoes released to January 1st. Yeah. So we're talking about just a few days worth of data on the resale tip for these shoes. So just a snapshot in the grand scheme of what happened. So he has 169 pairs sold on eBay for an average of $744 for a shoe that started at $185 plus tax. And then there's still on eBay 253 pairs unsold at an average price of $814. So the $744 was the average price for the 169 pair that sold, and the 253 pair that haven't sold are on average $814. So again, this is for a shoe that started at $185 plus tax. So for those of you that want to read a little more about the information that Josh and the good folks over at Campless pulled up, there's a full detailed report. Head over to blog.campless.com, Air Jordan 1 Fragment 5-day resale recap, and you'll see a whole lot of details there, some of which will make your head spin in regards to just 5 days and what people were willing to pay as far as the desire to have these shoes. So, and I think that's what we're debating about here is how much people are willing to pay in regard to this particular Fragment Jordan 1, which I have to honestly say, without that fragment sign on the back of these, they don't sell for this much. They resell, no doubt, but they don't resell for this much.
Right.
Right, agreed. Like I said, I agree with all points. I think it's one of those perfect storm collaborations with the right model and the right logo, the right extra logo.
Yeah. I agree.
Yep. So on average, 5 days, $744.
That's crazy.
I don't get it.
That's stupid. That's not crazy. Let me tell you what it is. That's foolish.
That's like one of those really moments. But
yeah,
I see so many sneakers that are being released now that people are actually camping out for or spending so much money for. I'm scratching what little hair I do have left, wondering, why. But this Jordan 1, I don't understand the draw. What is the draw? Like, there's so many sneakers. Like, there's so many sneakers that come out every week. Now, it's like, how do you even kind of discern what sneaker to buy? Like, okay, do I buy this Jordan 1? Do I buy this Jordan 11? Do I buy this KD? Do I buy this other brand like a New Balance or Asics or Reebok now? I mean, do I buy Steph Curry's Under Armour? I mean, there's so many.
Is when so many choices are there, the simple-minded, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but the simple-minded will choose the path of least resistance, which is an easy shoe to mark and see and recognize.
Exactly. So, for prime example, Paper put out a picture today, or I think it was yesterday, of kids who went back to school.
Yeah, today.
I don't know where. I think it was today, right?
Yep, today. I'm going to pull up that
kids who went back to school on Monday, the first day back after Christmas. And it was at the subway. If I'm pulling up Paper, I think it was at the subway station. Yep. And the picture was of their feet.
With the 11s?
And everyone is wearing Columbia 11s. I refuse to say Legend.
Really?
11s.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind. And I was like,
it's kind of like that summer that you saw the 12s, D.
Exactly.
Oh my God! In Houston.
So you see
It
this
looks
picture,
like a school uniform.
right?
Wow, Columbia Blues, yo, I got mine. Yo, you got yours. Yo, I got mine.
Yeah, you don't want to be the one without them.
Yeah, you don't.
Listen.
Because you
But
get that look
You
like
gotta
I ain't
go to
talking
school.
about it.
There's nothing wrong with you buying them,
All you need is a Catholic flag.
but everyone wears them on Monday to school. Like really? Like you have to show off. Like let's be honest, Alan. Would this have ever happened when you were in high school?
No.
Look, that's why I didn't wear that's why I didn't buy Jordans after the 2s, because by then when the 3s came, it was too many people I saw with them. I was like, yeah, no, not gonna do that.
Okay.
And most people didn't do it anyway. We don't all want to look alike. I didn't want to go with the same. We didn't all want to go there with the same sneakers. It just looked retarded.
You had to be fresh on the first day. You had to be clean head to toe. But
Yeah.
when it came to your kicks, you had to be ready come like Wednesday, Thursday. You had to drop it later in the week. And if you dropped it later in the week, you had to drop it on the court. So if you were an athlete, you had to have Thursday, and then whatever sport you played, those first kicks, whether they were cleats or basketball shoes, they had to be fresh.
In Brooklyn, you had to show up head to toe fresh first day. Hat, jewelry, shirt, jacket, pants, socks, sneakers, everything.
Everything was fresh, right? But
if somebody had on
the same sneakers as you, what would you do?
It didn't even have to be the same sneakers. Even if it was the same shirt, like when Low was hot. If somebody showed up with the same Low shirt or Low jacket, Alan, be like, yo, son got that same shit.
Like, why you biting my shit?
Yo,
it's who say who first.
You might get your sneakers stepped on.
Look at any teenage movie
on purpose
over time, and somebody getting wine dumped on their dress when they wearing the same dress.
Yeah, you might get your sneakers stepped on. Seriously, like that walk by Star. Oops.
Yeah, oops. Sorry.
I just wish we could pinpoint, and somebody who's viewing out there who's a little younger than us, if you can help us and weigh in on this somehow, some way. At what point did that rule of originality go out the window where now it is completely okay to dress exactly like everyone else? When did that moment I want to know when that happened.
Man,
I think it's that group thing. You ever watch those movies where you have this group, like the cool kids, this group of girls, and they tease that one girl? I think it turned with the guys. Like, aha, look, he didn't get her, we all got him. It's like,
but I respect the cool kids. I respect the mean girls because they would not show up dressed the same way.
No,
that's
not at all.
mean girl.
But now I think it's like it's a group mentality. It's like, look, we all got him. He didn't get him. It's some weird thing. I'm telling you.
But you know what?
But
I might anger some people saying this. I might anger some people saying this. That's hood mentality. That's gang mentality. That's group mentality, which you don't find in exclusive realms. You don't find that in exclusivity. You don't find that in Blue Bloods. You don't find that in prep schools. Yeah.
Well, you
don't find
that and things like that. You'll find the same model. You won't find same model, same color, same day.
No.
You'll find the same model.
No. I mean, like I said, I went to a prep school. I went to a prep school and we had uniforms. So you already had uniforms. You don't play the same kicks. No.
There's only one sneaker that I can remember that transcended the rule of not looking like anyone else. And this is one shoe that I have to give that testament to. It's definitely, well, I would say three shoes over the time from when I was younger. It was okay for everyone to rock the same color Puma Clydes, Adidas Shell Toes, and Air Force Ones white on whites. Those were the only three shoes in my lifetime, from me growing up as a kid, where if more than one person in the space and time had that same color, it was okay.
Right. Definitely the Shellys.
But even
definitely the Shellys.
Now allow me to show the difference here. All three of those shoes were used in the beginnings and origins of custom sneakers. Because the next day or 2 days later, people flipped the laces.
Definitely the laces.
They did all of that because they said, oh shit, now I see everybody's on this. I need to flip it a little bit and make my shit different.
Yep.
So that's where the origin of that came from. Like, we actually had the I don't even know what to call it as far as forecasting, but you kind of went to school knowing what you were going to do if you saw somebody else in your shit.
You know what? I didn't have
Bruh,
this.
somebody's sister had my laces on.
I used to hear enough stories of cats in New York. If they went out and they saw someone wearing the exact same, say, shirt. This is when, Lo was huge, or Tommy, and they had a jacket on. They would put their jacket on, and no matter how hot they got, they would keep that shit zipped up, buttoned up all day.
Yep.
Because they couldn't go home and change.
Well,
inside out.
Okay.
And that's where boutique life actually gained prominence. That's where boutique shopping gained prominence, because you go into a boutique and they would tell you, we only have 5 on the rack. We only have 10 of that on the rack, so don't worry. There won't be 30 people wearing that thing.
Right.
Because that's where it came from. That's where the smaller order, the smaller carry in those retail situations became a support for exclusivity, because it wasn't just about your choice to be unique. It was that you couldn't copy someone even if you wanted, because it was gone.
That's also the reason why people always want to buy expensive stuff.
Exactly.
Figure, okay, nobody else is going to have this. I'm going to pay some ridiculous price for this because you're not going to have it because they just didn't want it. And if it was sold at a store everybody could get it, then they didn't want it. That's just where that came from. But now it doesn't matter.
But there was a reaction. There was some kind of creative thought process that went into what would happen if you saw somebody with your shit on. Where now it's like, now you leave the house with the mentality that I'm
high fives.
Go and get the same thing everybody else has.
High fives, you too.
Yeah.
And that's what's tough for me to accept, is the fact that everyone has become so accepting of knowing out the gate you're going to look like everyone else. That's what's tough for me to take.
Wanting to. Not just being aware that you're going to, desiring the look as everyone.
I still blame the females.
And you can't do anything. Like, you can't tie the laces differently. You can't wear them untied versus tied now. It's a uniform. Skinny jeans and Jordans. As big as possible.
Yeah. It's tough to watch. Yep. Really is tough to watch.
I still blame females. I'm going to hold it to the females. Millennial females or whatever because they let the dudes get away with it, so I blame them for everything.
They let them get away
with it. They do. They do. They let them get away with it. If I could, let me tell you, if females would have been like, you look like everybody else, trust me. I'd have came to school the next day without those sneakers on. It'd have been something else. I'd be like, oh, no.
One more reason I like the Mean Girls. They wouldn't let it happen.
It's the females that allow it. Yeah.
Do your job, ladies.
Exactly. You are responsible.
Put game up, ladies.
You're ruining the next generation.
Keep us on point. You know we need help.
Yeah.
But wait, you know what I find interesting about that picture? It was mostly the females in their light wash skinny jeans and Jordans.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Oh, that's what is going now. They're like, hey, if I can get my own Jordan, my man been able to get my Jordans. They better get me some too. If he can't get the Jordans, he ain't worth it. It's like,
we wasn't even doing his and her Jordans. I don't even want to have. We ain't even going to the
his and her.
No, we wasn't even doing that.
No, we ain't doing matching shirts, baby. No.
Yeah, we ain't doing that. No,
it's never going to happen.
No, who got dressed first? You're gonna have to go change.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not walking with
no after school. Matching shirt, pants, shoes, hats, wristbands.
Let me tell you, that was really a pet peeve of mine. I really hated seeing. I mean, seeing guy girl match. Oh my God, that bothered me.
Listen to me, my dear beloved product of Kingston. It's never going to happen. Love you, but it's never going to happen.
That used to bother me to no end. I'm like, why are they wearing the same?
Bruh, if me and the wife go working out together and we come out the room looking like we going to the gym, I'm like, somebody changing colors. We ain't walking into the gym with his and hers.
Yeah, I know. It can't happen. I can't.
Can't go down.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, so our feature topic of the night, and we got to send a shout out to Kadoma, shout out to Adrian. We're going to get into the details of the latest Sneaker Summit event after we talk about this article here. But apparently, we all know sneakers hold a value as far as currency goes. But D. Wells, this story's from your neck of the woods. How about you share this one with us?
Yeah, this one actually caught me by surprise, but at the same time, you know what? Massachusetts is sometimes backwards in some respects, but also forward thinking. So this, Framingham, Massachusetts, which actually it's all of 25 minutes from me.
It's Framingham.
Framingham? No, it's Framingham.
It's Framingham.
AKA the other side of the tracks, because you go on the other side, you got Natick. I live in Natick. No, let me stop.
Natick Wellesley.
Yeah. So this judge decided that this young man who got busted not only selling drugs within the school zone, who didn't have money to pay his bail and had previously skipped out on his bail or didn't have a court appearance, decided that, you know what? He said the only possession, the man with the drugs, the only possession he has are a pair of brand new sneakers that he had just received. And he had basically the equivalent of $450 of unpaid court costs still kind of hanging out there. And he's like, well, I got these sneakers here, Your Honor. And the judge said, sneakers, $85, but I could flip those for, are they fragment ones? Wait a minute. Maybe so. You, sir, can bail yourself out with your sneakers. So, homie was able to use his sneakers. I wish we could find out what sneakers they were. Because he was able to, do the schmoney dance.
Brand new pair of Nike sneakers.
Yeah, they're Nike. But I want to know what you're. So I'm thinking a pair of Air Monarchs, just between you and me. But
$85 Nike
Air Monarchs are only $60.
Hey, this is.
What's the regular price for Air Force Ones? I don't know.
It's going up now.
Regular?
I mean,
Air Force Ones are $88 now.
Yeah. So could it have been an Air Force One? Could it have been
most running sneakers are more than 85, right?
So
most of the running sneakers are more than 85.
So nonetheless, he was able to use a pair of sneakers as bail money.
Yeah.
He got free because of a pair of sneakers. So this is the first time I've heard of anything like this happening. I've never heard of a judge accepting a pair of sneakers.
So what cracked me up, D, is the fact that the judge said he didn't trust Jason Duval enough to release him without bail because he said he didn't believe Duval was going to pay any of the money.
Exactly.
So then the judge said to him, in a show of good faith, be creative. If you come up with an idea to convince me that you'll come back, I'll work with you. And that's when he said, well, I got these new sneakers here. I got these new Nikes here.
Can't be part with my kicks, man. Can't do it.
I'm just wondering if he left court barefoot.
Probably socks. Well, there was Nike trainers, but they don't tell you which ones.
They don't say which shoes. They just say Nike brand value $5.
But let's focus on the fact that this judge said, "I will take your sneakers in order for you to get out of jail, and as part of your restitution, when you come back, for your court hearing, you will get your sneakers back."
I think the judge was an asshole, and he just wanted him to leave without his sneakers and see him walk out.
I think the judge was just having a heart, because the guy has to pay $100. He could pay in $25 a week or something like that. He has to pay more. Yeah.
Did you say something about the judge not believing that he was going to come back? Is that correct? Yeah. So the judge was like, well, if he's going to go and spend the money that he's supposed to be paying me on these sneakers, I'll take these sneakers, and hopefully when he gets that more money to buy more sneakers, he'll come get these and pay me. I mean, it makes sense.
But then again, the guy didn't buy these sneakers. The guy didn't actually buy these sneakers.
Aside from...
He said he got
the story here, aside from the details of payment or win or bail, is the fact that value outside of the realm of collection and wearing has now been applied to a pair of footwear.
Yep.
Yep.
It raises the game to the point of a more stable, recognized currency. That shoes are now currency.
Right.
In the legal sense now, they are legal tender.
But I think
I would love to talk to that
retail. I think the value was retail. I don't think he could go resale value. You know, if the judge, I think it was probably just retail.
Yeah, well, $85
so they can verify
retail value, but the fact that the judge saw somehow
Value.
to say, all right, that's an efficient form of payment.
Yeah.
Fork them
But
over.
the judge told him to be creative. That's the part we're missing. The judge told him to be creative. So what more creative is that? I don't
Well,
have
the judge could have easily said, nah, dude, seriously.
Yeah.
But that is creative. I mean, he could have also drew a picture to the judge and say, well, here's a picture of you. I can charge you $100 for my talents. He said creative. So he gave him
creative, right?
The judge would have. I think the judge would have vetoed that because.
Yeah, he would have. But creative to man was like, look, brand new sneakers. I mean, they're not brand new.
Like I said, for me,
they're very near dead stock. He wore them.
Yeah,
out of church. I like those are not dead stock.
Yes.
The VNDS, man.
VNDS.
9.8.
But I guarantee you that judge has a kid. That judge has a son or a daughter, somebody that's into sneakers.
And he's like, really I know these are worth something.
Yeah, I see how my son.
Like I said, in the marketing world, in the retail world, in the spending world, there's a phrase that says, "Price is what you pay, value is what you get." Yeah. No matter the price, it could have been a penny, it could have been $1,000, it could have been retail, it could have been resale. The fact was, value has now been placed on a sneaker outside of the quote-unquote normal realm of wearing and collecting and stashing in your own closet. It is now a recognized form of currency. In a legal sense, the next court case, the next public defender is going to cite precedent.
No, you can't do that. Because the judge, that particular judge said be creative. That's not something that any other judge has to stick to.
How many cases do you think this judge sees a day?
Yeah, but he chose this one particular time to be lenient. Every judge doesn't have to follow that suit because it's not a precedent where you can go.
It doesn't matter because it's been done and noted and on the books. Any good lawyer will cite precedent. I don't care if it's 1 or 100 times. The Roe v. Wade was one case that they all refer back to. When it is put on the books and accepted, it is now open for precedent.
That is fact. But I see where Alan is coming from.
A judge in Massachusetts.
I see where Alan is coming from in regards to whether a judge is going to actually even let it go that far in the future. So the possibility does exist.
That's where I'm saying, like, in that court, that judge opened himself up to that can of worms to entertaining that creative level of thought.
No, he totally did. He totally did. But I don't see that as something that right away will catch on where people could just start showing up with a pair of Jordans and be like, yo, judge.
Yeah, because that's not all of those things like Roe versus Wade, those are on decisions like, we're going to grant you right to do this or we're going to say this isn't illegal. But that's just part of you paying your bail. Your crime is your crime. We just told you pay with something. But, the bondsman will come back.
The fact of the matter is the fact that the sneakers were accepted as a valid form of payment.
And the only reason I say that it could recur, I agree with what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
What I mean is, when you go to a bail hearing and you hear judge the people request remand, the defendant says he is not a flight risk, he cannot afford that, blah, blah, blah. I hear what you're saying about decision, but it still opens the floor for argument. And
no, it totally does. He created the potential for it to happen again by accepting it this time. That's the fact.
Right.
That's a fact.
So yeah, you're right. I don't
do
think.
y'all think it just stops at sneakers? Do you think I could take off my nice watch, or somebody could give it an iPhone 6 Plus?
You know what's funny?
Now that's open.
And I think that was probably more feasible and more acceptable previously because people pawned watches. They pawned gold.
Yeah, it's like then it's gonna turn into a poker game. Like, look, I don't have it, but here.
I think
I don't have it, but here.
But here you go. Here's this watch. Or
Yeah.
Anybody in trouble knows to
here's
show
this,
up with
here's
that
this
one.
gold grill. What about that?
If you're in trouble, you show up with that one thing you're willing to part with.
that one good thing.
But you know why I really think also? Because then the judge got to sit there and go, again, your sneaker is not new, so I can't determine the value. Your watch, we got to go get this appraised. Things like that, the judge could be like, we don't have time for that. Do you have the money, yes or no? They're not really going to break
I would have loved to hear if the judge said, yo, are those VNDS?
Yeah, those are beaters. Like, you walked in with them, so now they're not new anymore.
What's the condo? What's the condo on those? 8.5.
You see, then you were like, Judge, it's the Rolex, and the judge has somebody appraise it like this is fake. That would be funny, though.
An authentication table in the court.
Could you imagine a woman that tried to give him her ring, only for them to tell him that's not a real diamond?
Oh.
She's going down to the catacombs.
This is
Husband is in the courtroom.
Yeah, I was gonna say, sketch.
Husband in the courtroom.
Bailiff, I need protection.
Yeah, don't let her out. Keep her.
Yeah.
She turned around looking at him like.
Yeah, like really?
This is one of those brilliant diamonds. It's not a real one.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you didn't go to Jerry. That right there is so different.
We've all seen the level with which people will go to move a pair of sneakers for all different kinds of reasons.
I wonder has anything else actually been used. I mean, this is sneaker first time. That's why we pick up. What about memorabilia? I mean, anything. It could be a collectible or something. Has anybody ever paid with something else? I need to look that up.
I haven't heard it myself, but I could see how, again, once something becomes a currency, once value is on it, and you use the words appraisal or those kind of things, I have seen people use cars. I have seen people appraise watches that, this is of this value. People will accept this thing if appraised and sold, or you know what I mean? Like, it's basically sanctioned pawning. So yeah, I've seen that happen.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, I see car, boat, motorhomes, but I'm trying to find something smaller.
Because basically,
I have my.
You put it up as collateral.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look for. Tell people, hey, look, I got this, mint condition comic. Just don't bend it, Judge. Weird. Here's these baseball cards. So, I want these back in that condition. That's funny. 10 types of collateral. Does anybody notice anything weird about that guy's neck in that picture, though? I just thought it was me. It was bothering me. Was his neck cut in the picture or something strange? It looked weird.
The other cross-reference that's a weird juxtaposition is this guy was selling drugs in a school zone and the judge accepted his sneakers as bail.
Yeah.
Weird.
Just a strange parallel right there.
Mm-hmm.
A strange juvenile sort of undertone where you got busted selling inside of a school zone, which is supposed to carry a steeper penalty, and the judge just so happened to accept sneakers. Like, I'm not saying they're connected, but it's a weird juvenile scholastic undertone, and we always talk about these kids being hooked on this mob mentality stuff, this group mentality stuff. It's just a weird strain running through that whole story.
Hey. I'm just gonna stay out of jail. How's that?
Stay out of jail. There you go.
I just keep all my sneakers.
That's one way to do. That's one way to do it. That's one way to do. So, Paper, you have on screen the All-Star Sneaker Summit taking place on Sunday, February 15th.
Coming back to New York?
In NYC, New York City, the Big
How
Apple.
you gonna make that the day after Valentine's Day?
The irony.
Well, hey, do you love your sneakers or not? Or how much do you love? How much do you love your wife?
Your sneakers are your, yeah, it's not your sneakers or your life. It's your sneakers or your wife.
Wow.
How that gonna sound? Hey, baby, great Valentine's Day yesterday. We're gonna go have breakfast now, and then we gotta go to the sneaker joint.
Exactly.
In all truth, mine wouldn't be mad.
I don't think mine would either, but I'm just saying.
Well, this is going down. You know, we have 38 days on deck, coming up for the NBA All-Star Weekend taking place in New York City, and here we have the All-Star Sneaker Summit taking place on the 15th. Man, New York City is going to be crazy. You know, games and the events taking place between both boroughs, the borough of Manhattan, the island of Manhattan, as well as Brooklyn. This particular event, though, is happening in New York City, in Manhattan. If I remember correctly, I'm gonna have to pull up the site so I can actually read it myself, because, as they say, I gotta clean my glasses. This is taking place at the Altman Building, if I'm not mistaken. And tickets are at the Altman Building. Tickets are $15. Tables are $40 and are available right now on Eventbrite. Or you can head on over to sneakersummit.com. All sorts of deals going on with travel, hotel and stuff like that. Right now, Mr. Kadoma himself is out there in good old California, probably about to get ready to take in or actually watching or at that Lakers-Clippers game.
Oh, did he go to?
He's out there attending Agenda, correct? And he's been representing. But the All-Star Sneaker Summit is happening on Sunday, February 15th. From 3 to 7 p.m. at the Altman Building, NYC. Tickets are $15. You can't
vendor table, $40.
Can't beat that.
No one else is doing tables for that price.
For the low. Yeah, man.
So
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Travel arrangements also on sneakersummit.com. You already know what it is with the Sneaker Summit. Kadoma has built this brand, and back for his third All-Star Sneaker Summit installment. I'll never forget the first one in Houston. My God. Wow. So if you're in New York and you love sneakers and you won't get your ass kicked by coming to a sneaker event instead of spending money on your girl, then this is where you should.
Bring your girl.
So
and matching Jordans.
No, don't do that. We don't want you to do that. Don't be trying to get people all clowned, Alan. So sneakersummit.com for all the details you need. 38 days remaining until the event. New York will be completely bonkers during this time, ladies and gentlemen, because the All-Star festivities are split between the Barclays Center in Brooklyn and Madison Square Garden in Manhattan, and there's going to be all kind of events and all things popping off in between there. Everyone and their mother's going to try to have the official All-Star after party and whatnot. It's going to be a joke in some respects. But if you know where you're going and when, be safe and have a good time. But New York will be, of course, because it's the largest NBA market in the country, it will be seriously bonkers out here that entire weekend. So don't get broken up because you chose the wrong thing to do this weekend. Or it'll just be you and your sneakers.
Man.
Yes,
Oh, man. All right. We got some Pensole news, too, don't we, D. Wells?
Pensole news?
I got to find that. We got some Pensole news, I believe.
Okay. Not that I can think of the top of my head, but...
The competition for Magic's coming up again.
Yep.
Yep.
Has that date been announced officially yet?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout out to Dwayne Edwards and the good folks over at Pensole.
DE, I'm coming to see you.
We'll be getting this news out.
I do I really enjoy seeing some of the names and faces that we've become familiar with through the contests and the class continuing their craft on their own time. On my Instagram, I see a ton of them still sketching, still drawing, still making. That's really cool.
Yep. and those who are now working for brands and designing footwear, you know.
Absolutely.
So
I actually got it's actually been really nice for me. I got hit up by one of the students on LinkedIn. Two of them left me really nice messages, and some couple hit me on Instagram too. So it's again an amazing experience, really, to be a part of that.
yes, sir, it was.
Absolutely.
Always is. So, does anybody have any announcements of the sort before we wrap up the show?
It's a good kickoff to the year. Good kickoff to the year.
Yeah, we got a good episode in. We're going to be busy this year as far as the OSD brand goes.
Very.
Please make sure that you stay in tune with all of us who are Sole Doctors. Make sure you stay up with us through social media and all the social media channels. Make sure you hit the OSD Live website. Make sure you follow the daily stock report. Make sure you join the Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, wherever we are. We got a very busy and exciting and ambitious year ahead of us. Those of you who have been asking about social studies, don't worry. It's coming back, and we'll be ready. But more importantly than that, we got some fun stuff that we're looking to do this year and roll out to the masses. So, with that being said,
I like how you sound all subdued. You know, I'm sitting over here like, damn, you just, See, you're so much better than me.
Listen, I need you to understand that this is an exercise for me.
Exactly.
You know how you say, you say woosah moments?
Yeah, it's like, ooh, wait a minute, hold up.
It's totally an exercise for me to be this. And you are ridiculous. You guys already know. So, yes, it takes a lot of work.
It's you know. Yeah,
it's hard. We got plans.
But 2015 is shaping up to be an exciting year. For those of you who have not heard, also Disorderlies who watch around the world, From the Feet Up will be back with new episodes for 2015. So thank you to everyone who watched and supported the pilot and gave good feedback and spread the word about it. We just have a lot we're going to be doing, and I don't know how we're going to find all the energy to do it, especially at this age, but we're going to have to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and get the shit done.
Boost! True. Boom!
Boost! That's how I stay bouncing. That's how I stay energized.
So, anyone else got anything going on you want to talk about right now? No? Well,
no?
Divas, you can roll us up out of here at 11:28 Eastern Standard Time, 11:28 p.m.
It is time. It's been good. It's been fun. Episode 332 is in the books on The Good Foot. Thanks for tuning in as you do. Thank you for making a great show for the first show of 2015. Excuse me. Make sure you come and walk with us, talk with us, and more importantly, spread love with us. Next week, on Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, keep your lacy tied tightly, your tongue loose, and make sure you always walk good, and make sure you stay warm. Catch us next week. We'll be up, and we out this piece.
Hey!
I'll put something in the chat.